The crypto market is crashing. The stock market is crashing. The entire market are looking pretty bad at this moment. Everyone is screaming about their portfolio is down 40 to 50% in stock or in crypto. Everyone is wondering what the heck is going on. Is it Russia banned Bitcoin cause all this? Is the Fed decision on interest rate cause all this? Or is it inflation cause all this? Let's take a look at the overall market. Even the stock market is crashing really bad. Tech stock, small cap, SPACs, all crashing very bad over the few months and haven't seen to be bottom out yet. I don't see any reversal at all. Some of them down like 80-90% from all-time high. It's crazy. And is now crypto market is the turn to be crash? People are very concerning and panic selling, including Wall Street. Big institutions, individual investors are worried about the crypto market could be crashed pretty bad. With the Fed Reserve intending to withdraw stimulus from the market, high inflation, the Fed decision on interest rate in this year, supply chain problem caused inflation, high employment. COVID is still a big problem to slow down the growth economy. All those are still a problem. All those are still the big issue that caused the whole stock market and the crypto market to be crashed. Inflation is one of the biggest things. Oh well, you can argue people saying that Bitcoin hedge against inflation. Yes, Bitcoin has limited supply. It could hedge for inflation. But at this point, most investors and most institutions are rotating their money, their assets from risky asset to a safer assets. For example, they're cashing out their money from recent IPOs, such as you see Robinhood crashing from $38 IPO to $13 right now. And all those IPO that launched in 2021 are almost down 80 to 90%, right? You see all this. You see all those SPAC that used to be all-time high $60, $80 and now crashed to like $2, $3. So what's that all mean to you guys? All those money that people invest or people trading in the risky assets now are cashing out all their money and putting in a safer place. Like they putting their money in the stock such as Apple stock, Amazon stock that is like been here for the longest time and making the biggest profit. Crypto is still considered as a risky asset, a new class of assets. And last year, that's the year that people start accepting it a little bit more and people start talk about it a little bit more. Wall Street start having ETFs for it, but it's still considered as a risky asset because it's still really new. When I look at Dow Jones, it's still holding its support level. That gives me an idea that people start rotating their money to a safer assets. And let's look at IWM for small cap tech stock. It has already broke down its support level. That gives me an idea that investors moving their money from more risky assets to a bigger company like Apple, Amazon, because everybody is afraid the market can crash. Let's take a look at Fair Greek index of Bitcoin. Extremely fair. People are extremely afraid losing their money in the market right now. Everybody's panic selling and everybody don't know what they're doing. Everybody is like, I'm lost 40% of my portfolio. What should I do? You look at Bitcoin, lost 12% yesterday. It dropped below 35K at its lowest level since July. And its peak level in November was 66,000. It has lost 50% of its value. And it completely wiped out $600 billion in market cap. And over 1 trillion has been lost in the crypto market. It just happened recently. And let's look at a couple famous investors and what they thought about Bitcoin and the whole market. The rich dad, poor dad, Robert Kiyosaki is saying that buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So I guess what he means is buy something that's hedged against inflation, hedged against the market that is protecting you losing money. Peter Schiff. So far, the decline in Bitcoin has been very orderly. No one is panicking yet. It's slightly a slope of hope. At this point, there has been a flash crash. That is how this decline typically ends. This flash crash may not even happen until we see Bitcoin break 30K. Are you serious? If Bitcoin break 30K, that would be bring Bitcoin down to 50 or 60% from its all-time high of $66,000. And everyone is hoping Bitcoin will hit 100K end of last year. Are we gonna hit 100K this year? Well, you gotta follow my channel going along. I will give you some more Bitcoin updates coming up in days and weeks. Next, let's look at Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is a big Bitcoin investor. Let's listen to his interview with Bloomberg.
So about this possible winter, are you really not feeling the cold?
Look, if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, a short time horizon is 4 years, a mid-time horizon is 10 years. The right time horizon is forever. Warren Buffett said, if you wouldn't hold it for 10 years, you shouldn't hold it for 10 minutes. So if you look at the course of 4 years, no one's ever lost money over 4 years holding Bitcoin. And if you look at, our experience, we started buying it at $10,000 and now it's up by a factor of 4. So given the right time horizon, you're fine. So it's a blessing and a curse. The blessing is it makes it the most exciting, interesting thing in the financial universe everywhere in the world. And the curse is it can induce anxiety for people that have a short attention span or are focused on a narrow time horizon.
So pretty much during this interview, Michael Saylor is saying that if you are a long-term Bitcoin investor, you will be a winner. So that's pretty much what he's saying, that HODL is the way to go. If you're a day trader or swing trader, let's take some technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Shiba Inu. And let's see where we are heading in the short term. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like the next support level is 30K. And when you look at RSI, it's oversold, way oversold. You see all those heavy selling volumes from 40K to all the way to 34K. That doesn't look good at all. It does look pretty bearish in the short term. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum having the same chart pattern with Bitcoin. Now we're sitting at $2,300 something. RSI is way oversold. Heavy selling volumes the last couple of days. And hopefully the next support is 1,700 something. If we can hold that support, we might see a reversal. Same thing like Bitcoin. Let's look at our favorite Dogecoin. We are sitting at 12 cents right now. The chart looking pretty bearish, making a lower low. Doesn't have any reversing signal at all. Hopefully it can hold the support. The next support will be 10 cents. If we can hold 10 cents, we are looking pretty good right here for Dogecoin. Shiba Inu having the same chart pattern with Dogecoin. So I guess all those meme coin, like they are having the same chart pattern from the peak all the way selling off, making lower lows. You see no reversal at all. When you see Bitcoin is down 1%, you're expecting all those Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Ethereum might down 3 or 4% or even more, because crypto, all the other cryptos price are pretty much driven by how Bitcoin price actions. If Bitcoin's down, pretty much everything is down, unless they have some good news on individual coins themselves. If not, the whole market is pretty much driven by Bitcoin price. For long-term investor, if you are a long-term investor in Bitcoin, I would not be worried about this short-term price volatility. Because if you compare Bitcoin, Gold, and S&P 500, Bitcoin is outperformed all of them over the last year. And when it comes to compound annual growth rate over the last decade, Bitcoin is at 140%. There's no better assets can outperform that. And you know that. Of course, there's up and downs when it comes to price action, right? So there's 10,000 all the way to 66,000 and now back down to 34,000 and people panic selling. And this is not the way that how you invest in crypto, because crypto already a well-known risky asset. The price action is just too crazy. If you cannot handle this type of price action, please do not invest in cryptocurrency at all. Okay, so I think what people can get out of this crash course here is HODL, invest principle. Like Warren Buffett, he's holding Coca-Cola for years. Ultimately, the price will go back up and get people excited over 10 years later. And when you see Bitcoins at 100K or even $1 million a piece, don't invest the money that you cannot afford, and don't use margin. Margin call is the pain, okay, guys? Don't use margin, and also don't buy the dip all at once. Use dollar cost averaging. So you put $100 this week and you put another $100 next week, and keep price averaging like this, then the price volatility will not affect you, right? So if you buy it all at once at 34, like if you buy it all at once at $34,000 right now at Bitcoins, what about tomorrow drop below 33K? What if go back down to 10K before it go back up to 100K? And you would be panic selling because your emotionally is not prepared to lose all the money that you invest in there, because those are money that you cannot afford to lose. All right, guys, make sure that you invest the money that you be able to live without it. Okay, guys, thanks for watching my YouTube video, and I'm not a financial advisor, but this is just my personal opinions on Bitcoin and the stock market. And thanks, guys.